And one of the things that naturally happened over the years of being with our Rock City Boxing boxers was we met their families. Their kids, their grandkids, and some have caregivers, and it naturally evolved into a support group. 2 support groups, one for the boxers and one that is now taking place for their spouses, caregivers, family, friends, whoever wants to join. So that's been new and a fantastic addition to what we've been doing. Jeanne's going to talk a little bit about that. And then we're going to give you a show.
Hi, I'm Jeanne. I'm born and raised in Ellsworth. I came from a background of high school and college sports.
She was my student at basketball.
I learned some skills in junior high. And then in high school, I ran cross country and track. And then in college, we had a team, but we didn't have a coach. And so the collective student body said, how about you be the coach, since you had this phenomenal experience at Ellsworth High School with the cross country team. And so I took over designing practices and coming up with workouts to do that would help us. I had them in the water, doing deep water running to build up resistance. And all of these skills tied into my college degree, which was in recreation management. And I started teaching college kids fitness classes. So I taught cardio kickboxing, I taught step aerobics, because that was the thing back then. And those experiences kind of got shoved to the side. I got older, had kids, and then I found myself in a place where I was working in an office job, and I was depressed, I was gaining weight, and I was battling colitis, which interferes with my ability to function on a regular work schedule. So I came home for Christmas, because I was in California, and I talked to Michelle about helping out with Rocksteady, because I had helped occasionally during COVID when I was out of work. And then when I got a full-time job again, I couldn't do it, and I missed it. I missed the people, I missed the family that was at Rocksteady. And so just after Christmas, I started helping out at Rocksteady in Ellsworth. And I discovered that this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. Instead of going, I have to go to work, I get to do this every day. Because I go 5 days a week. I teach in Ellsworth 3 days, and I go to Brewer 2 days a week. And then sometimes I'm doing it on the weekend. And I love these people. They're amazing. And I love their stories. I love their families. And I love how they have supported me, even though I make them dance to Thriller and Flashdance and whatever I come up with. Because when I was on a college team, there were 3 things that made cross-country teams successful, and that applies to Rocksteady. There was the element of exercise, because you get that dopamine boost. There was the element of fun, so we make sure there's fun in every class, and there's the shared experience. Because when you have a team all working together for the same goal, and this goal is to fight every day, that brings in the shared experience. Like when you go to a yoga class, when you do yoga at home, it's okay, but when you do it in a class, it feels different, because you're all bringing that vibration up together. And so Rocksteady brings that vibration up every single day. And I come home and I can't wait to choreograph the next aerobics routine. And these people are amazing, and I love every one of them. And I wanted to show you the first thing I did when I learned about Rocksteady. I did research, because I love to study. So this book, called I Am Rocksteady, was the first book I read, which talks about how Rocksteady was formed, how it benefits people with Parkinson's, and how the program itself could be run if you wanted to start your own. So I am going to start my own, because I am moving to California, and it's going to be Rocksteady Yosemite. And I hate to leave these people, so we're going to get a tour bus, and we're going to make road trips and visit. The other resource, one of our boxers brought this book to class, and it's talking about how all the symptoms of Parkinson's are different for every person. Same with the medications, and that through different forms of exercise and different ways of relieving stress through either yoga or meditation, you're making yourself an exercise cocktail, or we like to call it an exercise smoothie. just because we don't really need it to be a cocktail. And so it's your personal recipe for success. So it's whatever you choose to do for exercise, whatever you choose to do for your other therapies, your other illnesses, managing medications. And so we at Rocksteady have a monthly support group where we sometimes bring in guest speakers. And we've had, when we talk about estate planning and advanced directives, and then yesterday we had a local lady that was a pharmacist talk about managing medications, and then the boxers could ask the pharmacist questions that they don't normally get the time to ask their doctors, neurologists, or anybody else. And so we had a good back and forth with the pharmacist, and one of our other volunteers is also a traveling pharmacist for Walmart, talk about medications and whether you can take supplements with them or whether you should eat protein away from your medications, all the different types. And one of the other parts of research was I wanted to find out what it was like to be the spouse of somebody with Parkinson's, or the family member, or their home health aide. And so this book talks about the perspective of the wife or husband of somebody that has Parkinson's, and how the relationship can change over time, how the symptoms affect their personal relationships. It's a very short book, but it was a very difficult read. And I highly recommend it because it's very important to know what these people are going through, but also what their spouses and loved ones are going through. And I think that's all I need to say. Is everybody ready to learn choreography to Thriller?